Wouldn't it be nice if more people answered the phone when you actually called them? Right now, we get so many buyer leads that come from the internet, whether it be our company websites, our corporate websites, or Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia, whatever we may be using. We get these buyer leads come in, they have an email address and have a telephone number, and we dial the number immediately, and it just goes to voicemail. And we get a little frustrated because people just don't seem to answer the phone. So here's a technique I want you to start using immediately in order to increase the amount of people that pick up when you dial. I actually have seen results between 20 and 25% increase in the number of contacts when following this process. I call the process double dial text. So DDT for double dial text. You get that lead in, immediately dial the number. Let it ring. It goes to voicemail. Do not leave a voicemail. Hang up. A few seconds later, could be 5 seconds later, no more than 10 seconds later, dial the telephone number again. Let it ring. Let it ring. If the voicemail comes on, then you leave a message. What we know is this. If you double dial somebody, not leaving a message after the first dial, you dial them a second time, chances are they're going to see that they're getting multiple calls from one number. Therefore, they're going to feel like they need to pick up the phone. You know, you've kind of had it where maybe your spouse has called you or your significant other maybe has called you and you were kind of busy and you looked at the phone and you said, oh gosh, I'll just get back to them in a moment. You flip it back over and then all of a sudden they dial you again. As soon as they dial you the second time, don't you start to feel like, oh man, maybe I need to allow this interruption of whatever I'm doing and pick up the phone just to make sure everything's okay. So a lot of people will pick up the phone on the second dial. Now, in the event they don't, then you go ahead and text them. So you dial once, don't leave a voicemail, dial twice, talk to them, or leave a voicemail. And if you leave a voicemail the second time, then you immediately text them. And you just say something like, hey, just trying to reach you. I dialed you a few times. I've got something important I want to share with you. Want to see if there's any chance that you can look at properties, or when you might be able to look at properties. And you send that text. If they don't answer in the first two dials and you send that text, the likelihood that they're going to respond to that text is also going to be higher because they're going to get that feeling. They're going to have the feeling like they need to reach out to you because somebody's called them twice. So the likely that they're going to actually text you back or respond with something like, hey, I'm right in the middle of something, call me later, or I'll ring you in a moment. That's the type of information or that's the type of response that we're getting. So double dial text is a strategy that we need to implement immediately. It will increase the number of contacts that you're making off these internet leads. And the more contacts you make and the faster you make them, the more business you do. I hope you use this tip. Let me know if you have any questions.